In this video, I will show you my one and only attempt to recane a Bentwood chair. Hello amazing humans, welcome back to Just Keep Sending. My name is Alumine, and if you love French transformation, problem solving, and a little chaos, you're in the right place. Let's send through this. I picked up this chair from my local Buy Nothing group. The gifter said that their child broke it, and that they needed someone to bring it back to life. And I hope you know me by now, I love challenges that break my nerves, so I decided to take it on. I have always wanted the opportunity to reapply cane, and after seeing a few high-end brands with some beautiful chairs, like this beauty from Crate & Barrel, I took some inspiration and convinced myself that I could do this. Have I tell you that I never done this before? Okay, let's inspect this. Vamos a la hora. At a first glance, I thought this was a score. I only needed to change the cane of the seat, so I thought it wasn't going to be much money. But when I flipped the chair, I saw the backrest had a tiny tear. Oh, I thought it was perfect, but no. Ah, shit. And if I was planning to sell it, I needed to fix it. So double the cane and spline now. Also looked like it had some wood filler. These grooves on the side gave me the impression that the chair had been repaired in the past, as it looked like wood filler. Now, we needed to cane the whole thing. My approach to repairing was going to change. It seems like it was constructed in solid oak that had been bent to make it rockable. These types of chair are not a novelty, but also not so popular neither. I believe nowadays not many people are into Bentwood rocking chairs. To start, I had no choice but to take it apart. But no worries, the purpose of documenting this is also so I can remember how does it go when I have to put it back together. I usually don't use a drill to unscrew antiques, but I have a feeling this chair was made maybe in the 70s or 80s. I want to confess that taking things apart and painting are my two favorite parts of each process. That is why sometimes I jump right into the project and forget I am supposed to film stuff. And I love this project because there was not a lot of prep and I could just unscrew stuff right on. After that, I laid all the pieces on the floor and took a picture so I could use this at the time of putting it back together. The executive decision of removing the finish with a carbide scraper was made. And I continue with the sander as long as it fits, but first let's replace the back pad of the Surfprep. There you go. If you have a 3x4 Surfprep sander and you sand flat surfaces, you should be using the Saver pad. It comes in your box if you bought the whole kit. And I know most people don't talk about this. I am not sure everyone knows actually. What happens when the Saver is not used is that the backup pad loses its adhesion on the Velcro due to its getting heated by friction. If you use a sanding sponge, the Saver is not necessary. Can you tell me why did I struggle when I had this all along? I forgot I have this. And that is why in here I am replacing it, because I didn't know about the Saver pad. And I knew not too long ago. So now I'm using it. To remove the cane from the top, I needed to remove the spline first. That is what holds the cane webbing in place. Oh, don't worry, I watched some of videos about this. For that, I use hot water to soften the wood glue and the spline itself, that is usually made out of the same plant, that is the rattan. The back of the chair came out super easily and I was excited, but the seat, that took forever. I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think that it's supposed to hold someone's weight. So I did that in the kitchen. After that, I sanded the frame of the seat and the back. The wood was super brittle. Not sure if it was like that or the water made it worse. I also made sure I re-rounded all the edges as there were some splinters. To finalize the frame, I had to remove all the excess glue and webbing debris from the groove where the new spline would go. I am supposed to get a chisel for cane to remove all of this glue from inside. I don't have a chisel. They are $20. I didn't want to buy one. So I'm kind of making do with what I have. I'm gonna first start, I try using the Dremel, but the Dremel doesn't really, the tip I have is too small. Also here it's all brittle, which I know it will glue back when I put the actual glue. But yeah, I need to get all of this out and I am going to use a screwdriver. So let's see how that goes. Could I use water? Yes, I could. Could I use heat gun? Yes, I could. But this wood is so old that I'm a little bit afraid of breaking everything. So I'm just gonna make do with what I have. Just scraping with a screwdriver. I think I want to take that with a heat gun, but I'm not so sure. Prefer to take that with water, actually. That's gonna be covered, so I'm not worried about that. Are OG caning people hating me? Maybe. I don't know. Well, here I ruined everything. It's okay. That's gonna get glued. I don't care. Okay, let's see if I can do something else, because I'm not very happy with this. So I got this Dremel. Let's see if I can be less mean. And honestly, this seat is horrible. But the one I want to use doesn't fit in here. It's not. Okay, after trying with the heat gun and not working, then my Dremel tool that dies all the time, I was gonna link it for you, but I'm not going to link it because it's shit. Let's do this. This doesn't sand, but cleans, even though it's not like great quality. Also from Harbor Freight. It cleans, so all the debris is gonna come off out of here. I'm gonna go the other way. Yeah, you see, I warmed this up and it's still not coming off. So I will be carefully removing this from the sides with this chisel that is 1/4 inch. And then I'm gonna finish it up with a drill. Okay, repairs per se, there weren't a lot, but I had to fill the sides where there was previous fillings and some other areas of the frame. For that, I used good fila mixed with some water, covered them all, and sanded smooth. I don't know if I showed you this, but this was a little wobbly, so I made it completely wet with a kettle. And I put a board on top and some weight. And I know it's not gonna be perfect, but at least it's gonna be better. And also once I put the screw, it should like go back to life, but we'll see. So I have a mouse sander, a Surfprep, a DeWalt orbital sander, a Ryobi orbital sander. I have a belt sander. And none of them fit in these grooves. I have no other choice than to hand sand. These, nothing fits there. Nothing fits there. All of these is being hand sanded. Is it worthy? I don't know, but I'm gonna learn how to cane, so I think it is. And before getting ready for paint, I sanded everything with this 220 sponge to preserve the curves and to be able to get in the grooves. This is very hard. It was so nice and warm out yesterday, and today it is cold. My nose is dripping. I do not like this, but well, it's Texas. What can we do about it? I am painting the frame of the back of the chair right here, and I am sanding the seat. Oh, yeah, it's fine. No worries. It happens. So I can cane
inside in my living room, watching a movie, a documentary, something. That's what's happening. This chair will be done before I move. And that's all I can think of. That's my goal, and it's gonna happen. Okay? Just letting you know.
I really like this Bear spray paint. The nozzle never clogs, and the shape of the actual bottle is super comfortable. The price is accessible and the coverage is great. Okay, please don't judge me for this, but I need this weird thing to hang the woods from the screw holes, and using the poles or tensors from the Wagner spray tent. So if you're wondering if this is strong, well, it is. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope you're enjoying the video, and if you are, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around for more fun projects and a lot of trial and error.
I thought I was gonna have to do another plan for this to repair this chair, but I just measured and the seat is 19 and the 19 is on this part. There is a wider part that's right here, and 17 like this. And then I have the back is 26 from all the way down here to all the way up here. So I still have a little bit extra to work with by 15. So I will buy the 18 inches wide. Why am I trying to write with a... Doesn't matter. Get that one? No. Yes. I'm not a lefty. 18, they come in, I think 14, 18, and 24. So I'm going to be getting 18. And I'm going to have to measure as well around to see how much of this tube or pressing has a name. Forgot about it. And then I have to add 26 by 17. So I think that 40 something inches will be fine because this is 20 and 10 is 30 and 13 is 43. So I think I can buy 46 inches just in case. Yeah, I think, and I'm not gonna need that much. So to attach the cane, I need to create some wedges, as I don't want to take my table saw. I'm gonna go through my scrap pile. I already checked the measurements. They need to be 3/4 by 3/4. This might work. And then has to be like up to 3 inches tall with a 1/8 of an inch base. This said, we're gonna try to do that on the miter saw. On the miter saw. I do have a lot of scrap, as you can see. Oh, I have another one right here. This one might work as well. I think this one seems to be kind of like the perfect one. I need to make this safe. I need to know how I can cut these so it can give me a cut like this. This is what I need to do. I need to do cuts like this. And is this safe? Heck no. Is this safe? Well, that neither. How am I going to make this happen? I have a feeling that this is going to be best done on the table saw, because I really thought I could cut this like this. But now that I'm thinking about it, I have a brand new bandsaw. Why am I not using it? Heck yeah, we're doing it in the bandsaw.
I am so glad I changed my mind about how to cut this, because the bandsaw was a breeze. The miter saw or the table saw were going to be very, very unsafe options, and there was no way I was going to buy the wedges when I have tools and scrap wood. It was really going to be a waste of money from my point of view.
don't like it.
It is cold outside, and I don't deal with cold. You all know that. So we're gonna do this inside the house. And by these, I mean these. We're putting these in here. Is it gonna be a success? We'll never know until we try. So you can stay here and watch me fail, or you can just stay here. And if I succeed, please, I need a clap on the comments, please. I will definitely need someone to clap on those comments. I got this on Amazon because I didn't have the choice. I tried to find a local place, but there were no local places where I could buy cane webbing. I did find like a place that had one, but it wasn't big enough, so it wasn't good because I needed to be enough for this to fit. I'm supposed to soak this in hot water for it to be malleable. We're gonna watch the video one more time to make sure I'm doing it right. And I'm gonna start with the back because what I learned in the back, I'm gonna apply it in the seat. But I also made the wedges with scrap wood. So hopefully everything will work out. Okay, wish me luck. Good day. So I submerged it in water for a little bit, and then I decided to cut and just leave soaking the part that I was going to use immediately. I didn't know if this thing could get ruined. As I mentioned before, I wanted to start with the back so I could learn from the first try and implement that on the seat, that I feel like it needed to be stronger. I measured how much I was going to need and I trimmed a little more. The width of the cane I bought is actually 25 inches, but it is 24 usable, if that makes sense. This means that if you need to cover 24 inches, you have one extra. It is the exact opposite of lumber that, for example, a 4x2, it's actually 1.5 by 3.5 approximately. As I mentioned before, one of the recommended tools to remove the cane webbing is this chisel that fits perfectly inside the groove. And the other one, it is a cane webbing pliers. And this helps you stretch the fabric in a flat surface. But unfortunately, I didn't find out about this until a couple of weeks back, once the chair was done. But currently, I am using them to hold the fabric when I do upholstery, and actually they are very comfortable. So to be able to insert the cane inside the groove, I use this spatula to bend it and hold it with the wedges. I use the mallet to really secure them there and stretch to the other side. I also had to remove a few threads to not have too much webbing going inside the groove. I know I'm saying the same word over and over, so I hope this doesn't get confusing to you. Did you know that this is an ancient craft? Artifacts made from rattan have been found dating back to the Egyptians' pharaoh era. Cane is derived from a plant called rattan that is a type of palm. Although in recent times cane webbing has also been made out of bamboo because it is more durable and resistant, which is the case of the one I bought. The spline is also made out of the same plant. After all the research I did about cane webbing, I found out that if I were going to change the color of it, I could only apply stain or a whitewash or change the color on the front of the cane, not on the back, because due to its natural fibers, the rattan still needs to breathe. And to measure for the spine, I cheated. Yeah, I removed the previous one and measured the size and ordered the same one. But when I was about to order, there was a chart that tells me that if the groove is a certain measurement, the spline should be X. And it was very helpful. I used it at the very beginning, but then I wanted to double check, so I measured the actual spline I removed. So after holding the webbing in place with the wedges and using the chisel to cut the excess, I added glue in the groove and started to mallet down the spline. And I am just noticing right now that I have no footage of all of that. And I am so mad. I really don't know if I erased the video, if when I heard the timer of that it was the time to fold my sourdough, I just pressed stop and never came back to it, I do not remember. I am completely blank. But you're gonna have to imagine that, because I have here some footage of me holding the spline that I just put in on the seat with wood and the clamps, because I wasn't 100% positive that it was gonna hold in place. So I'm sorry for this. You're gonna have to use your imagination because, yeah, mistakes were made. Did I finish my chair before moving? Technically, I did. I just moved it in parts. I want to give you a quick reminder of how it looked when I picked it up. But first, I want to say that I have a special guest in this video. My friend and my niece were in town when I was editing this video, and she was very excited about doing some furniture with me and Beyond TV. But as I wasn't working on anything at the time and this chair haven't sold yet, her mother gave us permission to say something to all of you. So stay till the end, please, so you can say hi to them. Now look at this labor of love. I am no expert on king webbing, clearly, but I am so happy I learned something new. In total, in materials, I spent around $80. I am still not certain I will get the return of the investment, as the chair has been listed for a few weeks at $275 and haven't sold yet. I didn't even get any message actually. It is a very specific piece that requires a very specific buyer. But honestly, I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the experience. And if I reach a point that I want to get rid of it, I might consider lowering it down. But so far, I love it where it is. I'll leave the link on the comments of the video I watched about the process. It sounds pretty much everything. And regardless that I watched a few of them, I think this is the one that I would recommend. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I would love to know what you think, and if you would have done something different. Maybe you learned something new. I hope you suck at something new this week too. I am happy I tried. Don't know if I will do it again.
Thank you for watching.